Hello! Welcome to another episode of the FANMEN podcast. I'm DJ Gove.
Chris Davis.
Sean Hogarty.
Howdy, howdy.
Hello.
What's going on, kids?
So, we're going to do this one a little differently than we've done some other ones. So, last week...
We're going to try to make it good.
Yeah, we're going to give it a... good job in the eye of the beholder, so...
Effort, preparation.
Good's not our thing. So, last week, we did Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
And we didn't do any of, news or catch up on anything else. So, but we've had some things happen in the last couple weeks. So, it's going to sound a little dated, but we're going to start talking about it now. So, it's some little stupid stuff. They announced the director for the Lord of the Rings TV series. It's going to be J.J. Beneo.
Don't care.
Never heard
Spanish director, did that movie, The Orphanage.
You lost me at Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know they were doing a series.
Okay. Whatever.
What channel?
Amazon Prime.
Interesting.
Me.
There's
I'll watch
one
it.
return.
Is this prehistory of the rings and all that stuff?
I don't know. Supposedly, Ian McKellen wants to come back as...
I mean, Gandalf is
so.
a semi-eternal figure throughout a lot of that, so that works.
I don't know what they do.
There's
Though
some backstories to this thing where they're having to start shooting coverage to lock in tax credits and financing, even though they don't have a cast.
Oh.
So they're literally going over and shooting some green screen stuff and backgrounds
Yeah.
just to kick off the date before they lost all this.
Interesting.
Now, we'll see how that goes.
We'll see.
Okay.
Also, we never used to do a lot of video game news, but I'm going to do it. So
Only one of us is young enough to really play any video game.
I know, and I barely do anymore. So we talked about the new Ghostbusters movie coming out,
Yeah.
and how they're remastering the video game. It finally has a price point, $29.99, and will be a GameStop exclusive physically. That's coming up by the end of this year. So Ghostbusters, the video game, is
What
basically
platform?
Ghostbusters 3. Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox.
Okay, and I mean, when I hear $29.99, I get happy because that's half of what they've been doing.
Yeah,
but I also get suspicious.
You get your Sean Tingle?
Yeah,
Because it's a game they already had made for the... They
Yeah.
came out on the 360 and the PS3 and the Wii. Now they're just remastering it with the new graphics.
Okay,
So, which is good. When they remaster stuff and charge full price, people get pissed.
right. But when they charge a reasonable price, it makes me think that they're going to have DLC or some bullshit.
Nah, not with this one.
No.
Yeah, it just
All right.
is what it is.
It's a really good game.
Okay.
They sold a ton of copies of the old one. So,
Okay.
also, the covers for Marvel 1000 came out. So Marvel 1000 is So Detective Comics 1000 came out a little earlier this year.
Yep. I have number of covers of it.
Yep. And
and
it
it
was
has Kevin inside.
yes, it was also the actual 1000th
Issue
of that book.
Detective
Oh my
Comics, yeah.
God, what a concept.
What a novelty. Had a shit ton of covers. Tons. Most of them were very nice. It was really hard to pick just a handful.
Well, there's standard covers, meaning cover price, and DC did kind of one for every decade that and so each artist.
an
So there
excellent
was
It was.
there was a 30s, 40s, or was there just
He's
40s?
going to list them all.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
And then
but,
the
but then there were a
50s
lot of
and-
store variants who did their own.
Yeah,
the only
there was
extra
Alex
one that
Ross
I
had
got,
one.
I got a Comic Mint one that was kind of nice, and then I got the Alex Ross
I
one,
got
right?
that, yeah.
I did. Torpedo Comics had the 4 Jim Lee
Oh yeah,
covers.
nice.
I got the Alex Ross one. I sold it.
How much did you profit on it?
I got $1.25 for it.
Nice.
So
Very
it was
nice.
quite a bit. I was like, oh, I love this thing. I was like, but I'm getting 8 times what I paid. I have to do it. So
No, I kept
Yeah,
it because it's
I ended up keeping the set.
yeah. But
should've.
so
paid for part of the prom dress or prom tickets or something.
Marvel 1000 is the 1000th issue of the series Marvel. There
I
is
don't
no
know.
series Marvel.
There is
No, there is
Marvel
not.
Comics 1000. It's bullshit.
It is bullshit
Yep.
because they've published way more than 1,000 issues of Marvel Comics.
They've done 1,000. They've done 1,000 number ones in 2019, and it's only July.
Well, they're not doing anything like having different artists do decade-based covers, are they?
They
It's
kind of are.
No,
just
that's
kinda-
exactly what they're doing, right?
Yes. We just looked at the list. Most of them
So
were
derivative.
kind of shitty.
Yeah.
I ordered. I want to say I got 10 copies of Detective.
Mhm.
I got one of these just because I was like, I'll get the World War II Captain Marvel.
I haven't
just
even
America one.
ordered yet.
That's the one I asked. I don't care about Marvel Comics, but the 1940s Captain America one by Mark Brooks actually looks really
Because
cool.
it's like Americani looking.
Yeah, so I
That's it.
grabbed that.
The
I'm never gonna
Delato
read it.
Daredevil looks cool. too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't give a fuck what's inside it. I just want the cover.
yeah.
And I'll probably buy that as a print if I can find it some
And
other
that's
time.
coming out end of August, I believe.
Yay.
Yay.
Woo,
woo,
Marvel still
comics.
makes comic books.
Ugh. And it sounds like we're just like, oh, these guys hate Marvel. It's like we hate new Marvel.
Well, we have had some.
Disney hates new Marvel. Look
I
at the
know.
shit they're letting go.
Yeah.
I know.
2 or 3 weeks ago, we talked about our interest in setting up a comic industry panel with some local store owners. We've had some conversations. I think hopefully we'll be able to pull that off for the next couple months.
Cool.
The lots, that will be one of the topics is Marvel
Yep.
and variants and various.
You can talk about the DC consolidation.
Yep.
That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So
Okay, so also we'll jump back into comics in a second because the two big items are comic related. The trailer for the new Jumanji movie came out. We all liked the first one quite a bit.
surprised.
I'm in.
Yeah, me too.
The first one was a complete surprise at how awesome
It was. I was pissed about when the last one came out because I thought they were going to try to wipe out the Robin Williams one, but it was like a
The
spiritual
opposite,
successor.
yeah.
It was great.
Harley explains it perfectly. It's just Rock doing Rock things.
Yeah,
And
I'm
that's all you need.
That's all I need.
That's
Except they've topped
she
it.
says it.
They have
This trailer. This
before
trailer.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Harley elbows one. She's like, Heather's sitting there. Another Fast and the Furious movie. She's like, Mommy, it's just Rock doing Rock things. You just go and enjoy the Rock.
Oh yeah.
Like, okay. Just 2 hours of him
yeah.
making faces.
This time the kid's grandfather, who's played by Danny DeVito, it becomes Dr. Bravestone, or whatever the hell his name
Yeah.
is. So it's The Rock being Danny DeVito.
Yeah, which
It's The Rock being an
Spectacular.
old Jewish
So
guy.
it's
Spectacular.
it's the only way. Like I just watched the trailer. I didn't know it was out. They've taken one of the wonders of that first movie, which was having the characters embodied by something that is not on their face,
Yeah.
right? So The Rock being not The Rock
Yeah, it was great.
actually highlights what an actor he is. But now having the same characters be, some of them played by different, they're played by the same actors, but they're being embodied by different.
Exactly.
It's awesome.
Yeah, like the only thing about the second one is going to be tough to top Jack Black being a 15-year-old girl. That was just
Yeah,
was legendary.
But just like feeding Rock with a different character
Yeah.
approach.
Now he gets to play an
Yeah.
18-year-old
Yeah.
football athlete. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
The
gets
two of
buddy-
them. It's
alpha
awesome.
jock.
I know. I do like how the one that they kept consistent was Karen Gillan.
Yeah.
She's like the straight man kind of
Yeah.
thing. So I
Yep.
do like that. So
Yeah.
it should be good. Okay, so back in the comics. Had two major comic events happen. It would have been 2 weeks ago now. First one is they announced finally, much to Sean's excitement, Sandman is coming to the screen.
God.
Yes.
So
and I can't even remember. Is it going to be Amazon Prime?
I think so.
Yeah, part of the Neil
No, it's
Gaiman
Netflix.
deal, or is it
Netflix? Netflix. Yeah.
All right.
Him and Goyer.
Yeah. I mean, so coming on the tail of Good Omens, which is Neil Gaiman, Terry Pratchett, loved that. Have you guys both watched it yet?
I have.
Yeah,
It's on the
so
list.
it was fantastic.
It was so well done, well cast.
It was
the whole thing.
good timing to see the success of that and the quality of that, giving Gaiman a chance to. I know he's not going to be directing or writing at the same level he'll be producing, but he's got to have hands on to it.
Well, I'm sure.
These hands.
He had
You don't
American
have to
Gods
ru-
too, right?
Yeah,
He is American Gods. American Gods was entirely his.
Okay.
This is entirely his.
American Gods is a lot harder, I think. Well, Sandman's going to be difficult, but American Gods has so much
You have
darkness
some-
to it.
You have some constant themes
Mhm.
in Sandman, though.
Yeah,
I mean, this work of literature was designed for that anthology type setup. This
Yeah.
goes seasons and
Yeah.
seasons.
yeah. It's so long. There's so many great stories. There's a fantastic set of great
Can't wait to
characters.
see the embodiment of death.
Oh,
It's,
I mean, it's
this pieces that
it's probably
I just
a
got chills
career maker,
thinking of.
right? Whoever gets cast there, is in for a lot of money.
is it wrong that the Goyer news bugged me a little bit? He doesn't
No.
need to be involved in every
Yeah,
comic property. And what is Gaiman doesn't need help writing this.
no,
He just
it's gotta
successfully
be-
show ran
I think
Good
is
Omens.
he just adapting screenplay?
He wrote the stories.
It's
That's
probably
the script is there. The dialogue's
probably a
there.
Warner DC Vertigo relationship
So-
production linkage.
That's an excellent point. You're bringing up the Warner Brothers connection here. So you have a Warner property. Warner's launching their own streaming service, and yet they let it go to Netflix. It tells you there's two reasons. One is how expensive the show is going to be. They need to offload some. And they've also just committed like $1 billion to signing up talent. JJ has an exclusive deal for the next 5 to 7 years for $500 million.
Yep.
Greg Berlanti just signed a $300 million production deal. There was somebody else that they were eyeballing. So they need some dollars coming in.
I think there's also a hedge there because while certainly you and I believe Sandman is prime real estate for this sort of effort, it's not the known quantity that people think Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman are, or that the Marvel properties have been. And the money they're putting into their own streaming services, Netflix is kind of neutral ground, right? Netflix is a Switzerland of a place where you can get huge amounts of investment, long-running stream without putting this property at risk for future vagaries.
And Netflix needs IP right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
They
need IP.
Yeah.
Which could be great for us with something like these weird books and stuff like that.
Yep.
Invincible.
It's great as long as Netflix continues
I've never
to
read
get
Invincible,
investors.
but I've heard it's good.
Netflix is still in the red.
Yeah.
They're not making money yet.
No.
Yeah.
So those, free is not sustainable.
Yeah.
You ever hear that phrase?
Yeah.
It's only so long people are going to keep pumping money into this,
Yeah.
regardless of the subscription.
Like we were just talking about, so Stranger Things started last week. We haven't really got into it yet, but you could possibly have this be the last season. I know they say, they're going to do 5 of them. These kids are going to be 20 something. These kids are getting expensive, so they can't keep going with that either.
It's too much money.
Too much money.
No.
Yeah.
But that,
Well, yes.
I've been waiting for that announcement for a long time.
Yeah.
As soon as that dropped, it finally broke off the omnibus. I went and bought the Sandman Volume 1.
Oh, yeah. I have all the trades. I don't really have interest in buying in other formats. I have the single. I have the full run as well, right? And arguably, I should sell it as soon as
the show starts.
As soon as it
starts,
pops,
yeah.
The number 1 might go as soon as that drops.
I think I have a 9.8 number 1, maybe a 9.6.
Holy cow! So you guys are way more into like I think I've read some of them here or there.
Yeah.
So what's like the one story arc you'd want them to hit for season 1? Do you have one in mind that you want them to? Do you want them to start at the beginning or?
I think you have to start at the beginning.
Yeah,
I think
you have to get into it the way. Well, you don't have to, but yeah, I would start at the beginning. I haven't read it in 15 years.
You can pick chunks of it, but it is one long.
Yeah, and some of it is maybe like some of the Shakespearean aspects of something. Some of it may be hard to get into if they don't really soak in it, go slow.
I'm very curious to see how they bring it to the screen. That particular piece of work plays very well to literary fans.
Yeah.
That's kind of like some of the Alan Moore stuff. It reads more as a piece of literature with pictures than vice versa.
If you tackle it in a Good Omens approach in terms of production and
we need a few more bucks for
whimsy.
the FX on this one, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can see where the budget.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's gonna be interesting.
The fact that they're making it at all.
Yeah, you guys have been.
It's just. I mean, this has been on the short list forever. So
and now you got it. See how it goes.
Now just give me Craven and I can die happy.
Exactly.
And the Dark Tower series.
That's coming too.
They're doing
That's
the series.
Too. Yeah.
They need to do it right.
Yeah, absolutely. Which
the adaptation of Eyes of the Dragon.
Slow and dedicated. Yeah.
We'll see how that goes.
And there's the whole Randall Flagg.
Yeah. Yep.
arc.
All right, but yes, I'm excited by that, DJ.
Okay.
But another, that's a beginning. There's an ending.
I like this one almost as much.
Yeah.
This one blew me away. It was something I didn't even care about, but just appreciated the way they did it. So, Sean, you take this is your thing. So you take this.
All right. So this last week, Wednesday, July 3rd, Walking Dead issue 193 hit the comic book stores, and about 24 hours beforehand, the news broke that this was the last issue
ever
of the series.
That's insane.
The reason that's particularly interesting is because they had taken orders and money for orders of issues 194, 195. There were covers
They
in
did cover art,
previews.
yeah.
There was, blurbs, summaries.
Still up on Midtown.
So, so once again, Robert Kirkman does something, he does something that shakes things up. That prevented there being, during previews, 8 to 10 weeks in advance when they do previews, there was no big rush. I mean, the previous issues had the build up to and the death of a major character.
And they had to second print it.
So those books were being hot, but that was still no indication, right, that this was an end. And so just that right there, somebody doing, rather than a massive money grab, the opposite, right? All the prices now of issue 193 have gone up $50, $60, $75.
Yeah,
I mean,
because you can't get them.
Yeah, they're climbing up. Now, I
Give it a
still
couple
think
weeks.
they printed a whole hell of a lot of these.
They didn't. They're already on second printings. First printing.
That doesn't mean
They still printed a $500,000. The prices are going to come down.
Yeah, I don't. We'll see how this is
You
sustained,
can't
but
find them anywhere.
that doesn't mean that there aren't a crap load of them, right?
Yeah.
So
You can't find them around here.
yeah,
Okay.
right. It's the fact is,
But then
I've
you
ended
also
up,
go on eBay
yeah,
and there's dealers that are saying, oh, we'll get you a 9.8 graded. And it's one
They're all-
of
they're all
50 that you're ordering.
They're all CGC.
Yeah.
yeah.
There's-
So
The number that I heard was $500,000.
yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised by that. So we'll see what happens to the sustainability of those prices.
That's a lot of books for this day and age.
That's a massive number of books for this day and age.
But considering the popularity of,
High
like, say,
times
the
as
show and the license, it's really not that
Yeah.
many.
So we'll see. That's a
if-
separate topic. The fact is,
Okay.
how this was pulled off
Was immaculate.
Was immaculate. And I'm interested to see business-wise how they handle the refunds. Diamond had to be in on it because Diamond allowed them to take people's money for a product that they knew was not going to exist. Somebody where the chain ends somewhere.
So explain this to me.
Yeah.
You do more of the pre-orders than we do.
Mhm.
When are you charged?
So I really haven't been pre-ordering in a long time. So I didn't pre-order these.
Like I know for
I have
Midtown,
pull lists.
You get charged at
Yeah.
shipping.
I get charged at shipping. So
Yeah.
there isn't a massive refund.
No,
It's
no,
just
no.
Your orders get canceled.
Midtown pre-orders, you pay when you pre-order.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. You don't pay, and that includes.
I would imagine through Diamond, you get invoiced after shipping. I don't think
It's-
you're paying
Yeah,
front.
actually,
COD.
on a Diamond account. You're right. So they
COD.
haven't actually committed fraud. You're right. Okay, so that's good. But regardless, I loved how that happened, and so that led to me. So I also missed out on a chance in one of the comp groups I follow. They do some nice insider deals, stuff like that, multi-packs. I missed out on it because they went live on a Tuesday while, I was working and not sitting on the internet.
How dare you?
Yeah. So I missed out on a chance to buy more. I had, I pulled The Walking Dead at 2 different stores, Hall of Comics, my primary local comic book store, and Great Stories in Uxbridge, a smaller store that I've been supporting with a pull list for quite some time. So I figured, okay, I'm safe. I've got 2 copies. But I decided to go out and hit some other local stores trying to pick up an extra copy or 2. So I ended up going to 4 stores. I ended up with 0 copies that I actually bought, including I went to Great Stories because it should be in my box. I show up. He got shorted. He did not get the issues he ordered. Diamond shorted him. I got there and his wife was actually manning the store because Chris, the owner, was out trying to find me a copy. Right? This is customer service. One of the reasons I still have a pull list there, even though I've cut way back. He ends up finding me in the parking lot of another store a couple hours later. He called me and said, "Hey, can I drop this issue off by your house?" I'm like, "I'm at Friendly Neighborhood Comics." He's like, "I'll be there in 2 minutes." So I had hand delivered one of my two raw copies, which is pretty impressive.
Good service.
But I ended up buying a bunch of other stuff cheap. There was a Friendly Neighborhood's been running a 50% off back issues thing, and they had they've had a so-called estate collection for
they've
a
been
couple
burning
months
that
now.
for a
Yeah,
while.
Bunch of dollar books.
they're cheap and then 50% off.
Bunch of dollar books, right?
Yes, a bunch of
Lots and
dollar
lots
books.
of dollar books.
Actually, many of them were 50 cents. They actually were really, really cheap, but I bought some old
Very
stuff.
frugal of you, Sean. Good job, Dave.
It was. I didn't.
Good job not spending any
Yeah,
money.
yeah, I didn't spend much. but I was intrigued by how they finished that series. So now I do have a full run, a number of dupes, along the way. I don't know whether, maybe I should try to sell it all while things are normally hot, because it's probably not going to go up, right? The number one will probably stay high for a while.
It's a tough call because the show's tailing off, the books are now done, but zombies never go out of style.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the public's taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's still paper comics. It is modern. It's one of the few series that's actually a modern, like, flag tentpole. Like, number 1 and number 2 will be always one of the most valuable, that Batman Adventures 12. There aren't very many really high dollar books from the last, 15 years.
The only thing I can think of is, I know it happened with some of the stuff when I was younger. So you get these kids now like 13, 14.
Yeah.
10, 12 years, they're going to be out of college. And they're going to be, having decent jobs. And there might be like a movie or something comes out. And they're like, oh, I want those Walking Dead books I never could get when I was a kid.
Maybe if buying and collecting paper is still in vogue, then, this is the type of thing that can drop out at any given moment.
Oh,
laser discs are my favorite example of something that was expensive as hell, collected by people like comic book collectors, and you can't give them away now.
This tags up on stuff that we talked about in a previous episode. Just the volume of comics being moved. So DJ's talking about 10 or 15 years down the road. 10 or 15 years ago, you were selling 1 million copies of an issue.
Yeah.
Now you're selling 150,000 and winning the week.
Right.
I mean, it's...
Well, but then that plays into
books,
if there is...
You need collectors like you and I that are going back for the older ones and not focusing on your newer stuff.
So while there's slower print runs in the 90s, and that stuff is, quarter book trash for the most part, yes, there are fewer, but they're also much more skewed towards people buying them, bagging them, boarding them, and keeping them, which means the supply-demand curve may not be favorable here. Right.
True.
But I did have fun, and I had a bunch of time off, for the 4th. I went through some 2,500 books, sorting, prepping, getting ready to file them into my collection, stuff like that.
God bless you.
Yeah, I've got my system down when I have time to spend on it, and that was kind of nice. I love organizing.
I picked up last month's the Death of Rick. And I picked up the last. I got 2 copies of the last one.
Spoilers, but yeah, I know.
It's been. It was everywhere. It was
I actually haven't. I think I'm back on issue 182 right now, reading wise. Like which is about a year ago. So I need to catch up now that I know it's ended.
Yeah, without giving it away, because I know you haven't read it yet. The way they end the story, it's fine. I mean, it's nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah,
it's something that's been done many times before, but it's nice. And then you get the page where it's like, I'm done, no more book.
Yep.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah, so I'll read it. I did order a couple graded copies of it. One of them is signed by Kirkman. Figuring,
where'd you find that?
Trinity. It's one of the folks that specialize in signings. So hopefully that one comes through. I haven't actually paid for that one yet, but then I have another slab that I ordered.
I was going to say, because the 9/8s were going, I saw anywhere from $100 to $150.
Yeah, it won't be that
was
much.
all eBay kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's why the Kirkman thing, I'd never seen.
Yeah.
Anything.
I have a couple of books signed by him. I've never actually met him to sign anything, but
tried it in New York. I couldn't get him to expand every time because he'd only sign for like a half hour.
Yeah.
I bumped into him once somewhere.
Yeah, but it'll be it's still it's interesting for me to contemporaneously complete a run. Like I think that's actually lots of smaller ones, but I mean, this
50,
is
like the new 52 stuff, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But nothing of that length.
You got to imagine Image wasn't happy about that.
I don't know. I think Image is doing pretty well. Yeah.
Are they still like owned by artists?
Yeah, I mean all of their deals, all of their series are fundamentally skewed towards the IP remaining the ownership of the creatives, which is why, I mean, Image is cranking out new little, series right and left. They all are nicely printed. Like the quality of the books are put out nice. The packaging, the art, the stories, the creativity. I love the Image stuff.
Yeah.
I've stopped buying all the new stuff that I was.
There's too much of it.
But there's a lot of pretty interesting ongoing series.
Yeah. Maybe with Walking Dead going to spin up something new that would be new and exciting.
I'll be interested. I mean, Oblivion Song is the other big Kirkman property that's now at issue 18, I think. And that's one I haven't read beyond the first 6 or 7 issues, but I've been pulling it. And I recommend reading it. And it probably will end up being a property at some point. It's pretty cool. Huh. So I imagine there may be some heat with Oblivion Song, probably somewhere around this termination of this series. I bet there'll be an announcement with some kind of scheduling of when the Amazon Oblivion Song premiere. I bet something's coming with that.
Coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. And that may shift a big wave of folks into a series that's now a year and a half old. So there'll be they printed the 5 zillion number ones because it was a Kirkman number one. But, yeah. But I'm interested to see what happens with that.
Yeah. For once in this day and age, you get to see a creator end it the way he wanted to. No outside pressure. No, we got to have the huge send-off retirement type tour.
50 variant covers. And
what's interesting is there's plenty of quotes of him in the last few years talking about he had a way he was going to end it.
Yeah, he knew when it was going to end.
He also said something about, having 200, like he said things that made this 193 more of a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was psyched.
He told Kevin on the set of Reboot.
Yeah.
No, I'm not ending this anytime soon.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For a long time.
Playing it tight. He's also got.
Meanwhile, this was already written in.
Oh yeah.
I know.
I mean, it was already.
Yeah. I wonder if there's any yeah.
It'll be interesting, right? It's definitely something I want to ask. I want to ask the retailers, what was their experience of this whole process? What did they go through for folks who, when there's a hot issue, right? I know some stores pull all their stuff and put it aside, or they raise the prices for anybody who didn't pull it.
Which no one around here did that.
Yeah, no one. No. Which I respect and love. But
I know I was talking to Pete, the manager at That's Entertainment, because I went down to get one there, and they only had a couple, like 5 left, and they were. Yeah. He had 2 problems. Number one is whether it was Diamond or UPS or someone fucked up one of his boxes. So he had some issues that were in some rough shape. Spines are broken and stuff like that.
Yeah, Diamond. Yeah, some of the boxes are tough.
Yeah, there's that might degrade some of the whatever they printed, but I guess they have, especially for Walking Dead, they have a large contingent of walking on Thursday or Friday people, like show people, who watch the show and read the book. And now those people can't get the book, but there is a second printing coming. There'll probably be a third or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm curious to see what kind of this was one of the backbone titles.
Yeah.
For a lot of the shops. There's not a lot of new titles that people care about.
Yeah.
There's event books and people will jump in for this number 1 or this.
That's true.
So maybe we need to schedule our retailer dinner sooner than later.
Sooner rather than
right on the end of this.
Yeah.
Better. Exactly.
But overall though, I think it's kind of cool that, like, especially in today's day and age, like we talked about last week with Spider-Man with Jameson, the Jameson cameo. There's not a lot of surprises anymore.
Yeah.
So it was nice. It was nice. I appreciate the surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay, so we're gonna go right from news blurbs to top 3 this week.
Okay.
Because we've been getting a little long-winded with some of the stuff, and we already have no big.
And all Sean bought was dollar books, so
fine. Sean bought a bunch of $20 worth of fucking books. So
that's what I did.
I know you did. That's why I said you did. That's what I'm saying. So there's not a lot to talk about. So, so Sean wanted to take control of top 3 this week. So take it away, Mr. Hogarty.
All right. So one of the things that's been going on lately that has caused a little FANMEN turmoil in a very, very minor sense is that Chris has been working towards moving into a new house that he and his wife have been building for several months now and have been working towards for quite some time. And that, it kind of made me think about something we've touched on occasionally. When you're fans like we are, and we spend a lot of time indoors like we do, how you equip your space, how you surround yourself with places that you're comfortable, that you spend your time when you're not at work, or if you work at home, when you are working, spend your time alone and with your family. What are the types of things, whether it's in a fantasy world in a future home, or investments or creature comforts and features that you build in your current living space? What are, 3 things that you think about or spend time on or fantasize about with respect to the comforts of your living and living spaces? And so a little, not kind of normal for us. At the same time, I feel like we probably have a lot to talk about there. I did have an honorable mention of, kind of outdoor areas. I'm really an indoor kind of guy. If I'm just buying a house for myself, I probably have rock gardens and no land whatsoever.
It wouldn't be indoors. You could go outside.
Yeah, I mean, it just
drop through the roof.
Yeah,
seal
just
it.
drop through the roof. But
Arizona landscaping.
My
Rocks
life
and like 2 cactus.
My wife has always wanted kind of a greenhouse. She likes to grow things, likes to keep creatures out of it, likes to have sun. I like to have control over the environment, so I like to have covering, things like that. So kind of the 4-season porch and a greenhouse type thing. I also, I would never want to own a pool, but the idea of having a nice pool with a swim-up bar and things like that, and I've spent some time at family houses that have those things, and it's really kind of nice. So honorable mention for me would be outdoor space, maybe even a tennis court, but again, only if I can pay other people to keep it clean and in working order.
My honorable mention is going to be in that same vein. I never wanted a pool. I'm going to end up with one.
Yeah.
But that's more for the ladies than anything else.
Yeah. And our FANMEN summer extravaganzas.
There you go. Someplace to go out and drink. The tennis court's an interesting thought, because the one thing I always wanted when I was a kid was a basketball court.
Yeah.
I just wanted a half court.
Yeah.
Like
paved and everything.
actual paved, or the ones they do now are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just a good place to play horse, right? I don't play basketball, but I love shooting hoops with friends, right?
But not shooting on a sloped driveway by a road or any of that stuff. Yeah, just a place to be able to go.
My hoop, when we bought the house, is actually grown into a tree. So while we've lived in the house, it's gone up like 2.5 feet.
That's amazing.
That's not regulation, Sean.
And it's it can't come down. It's part of the tree now.
Yeah. So it'd be
nature finds a way.
That same kind of idea. I hate landscaping. That's everything you told me about, Jen. Just exhausts me.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in the sun. I'd rather hide in my cave somewhere. But I always wanted a basketball hoop.
So my honorable mention, I kind of ran with this as I just I hit the lotto or something like that, so I can just buy whatever I want. So same thing. It's outside pool. I live on a lake now, so obviously I don't have a pool, but if I ever won the lottery, I would get the hell out of Worcester, Massachusetts.
Woo.
Yeah, the woo. So some kind of crazy like Disney World style pool, like you see like on a TV show with like the slide on it. That'd be kind of neat. Or just an insane bar area. Because when you have a bar area, you can put stuff around it, like stuff on the walls, and you can put shelves up and shit. So be pool and bar.
I can agree with that. So
more walls are always good.
Yeah. My number 3, one of the things I realized as I went through this, all but my number 1 are things I kind of have, and it made me thankful thinking about it. But my number 3 is home theater. So I spent a lot of time building, kind of refinishing or finishing the basement in our house. And the main thing I wanted was a comfy place to watch, big screen, surround sound. And so I got a pretty nice setup, 7.1, a decent TV, 65 that I recently swapped for something from DJ. And so, and big sectional with 4 recliners and stuff like that. So it's a comfy place for us. But if I actually have more than me and my wife and kids, somebody's sitting on the side wall facing, it's really optimal. It's
designed for the family.
It's designed for me. And there's enough.
And your seat at the end.
My seat is, I designed I put the walls and the distances based upon where I sit. And I put the speakers based upon where I sit. It's very much engineered for me. So if I wanted to make it better, have a few levels of seating, have a little more, creature comforts for more people. Bigger screen, sure, it's always good to have a nice projection setup. But the fact is, I really enjoy, at least for myself, what I have. I just want it bigger and better.
Excellent. My number 3 comes from, it ties into the outdoor space a little bit, but more just setting of the house. And my thing is just open space and privacy.
Yeah.
That was one thing that was big when we were hunting for the land all these years, was someplace where I could have a little room around me.
Mm-hmm.
And we stumbled on this one piece. The site needed a lot of work, but we stumbled on a place where nobody can build on any side of us.
And that's good.
So you essentially have all 4 sides surrounded. Not that I love my neighbors that I have here.
Right.
Talk to them on the driveway and stuff like that. Yeah. But when you're in the backyard,
I
don't want to be able to
yell.
Yeah. I don't want it to be like Batman 66 where I can just yell at everybody in the windows as I'm going by.
Gaining some weight there, Davis, huh?
Yeah. Said the pot to the kettle.
Oh, yeah.
But no, it's more of a, more of just an open space and a privacy kind of thing. Just your own little niche.
Yeah, it's funny that I didn't really think about that. It does highlight how much the outdoors is not really, I like it in theory. I love how it looks.
Theory. Yes, I like it in
how
theory.
It looks.
And I love it if somebody else maintains.
Though, too. That's a different thing that I didn't really think about. Yeah. But you're right.
Yeah, same thing. Like on one side, I like my neighbor. I've known her since I was young, so I have no problem with neighbors. But I would like maybe like an empty lot on each side.
Yeah. Well, you're on.
I'm in the city. Yeah.
Yeah, but for being in the city, you feel like you're in a woodsy lake area. But you have the flip part of that, which is because it's on the waterfront, you're kind of packed in.
Yeah.
They push them tight.
Yeah, because it's valuable. It's gorgeous, right?
I always say, like, if I ever won, like, Powerball, whatever, the first thing I do is I'd buy the multifamily next to me. I'd knock it the fuck down, turn it into a garage.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That thing.
Yeah,
that just get rid of that. I'd be okay with it. My number 3, I also want home theater, like a theater room. I would love like I said, I'm talking like fantasy world. So inset big recliners.
Yeah.
Full dark, 85-inch projection, 4K, 7:1, the whole 9. So high ceiling,
I mean, you've got at least 2 or 3 different places to watch TV in your place, but that's one of the things I noticed. Even with Chris has a pretty nice setup here for watching, but neither of your setups optimal. Meet my requirement. Right, mine is about darkness. You're right.
Yep, I don't have that exact many windows.
Yeah. And I have one in my base, but it's a small.
You can take care of that with blackout blinds and stuff.
Yeah. Plus, it's I'm usually down there at night too, so it's dark. But also, the difference between just a sound bar or TV speakers and properly nice, I don't have hugely expensive speakers, but they're well placed, well equipped, the proper receiver, things like that. And it really is it's so easy to take it for granted, but it's awesome. You guys haven't watched a movie over at my place.
I started, when we put on the TV,
I started
watching Blade Runner. So it was nice. Yeah. My living room's too long.
Yeah.
It fucks it all up. So that's why I would like to have just like a set room for it.
Yeah. Yep. Nice. Obviously, I agree. My number 2, I guess I'd call it office, but I realized this is my living space for me by myself, which is not so much being apart from the family, but again, it's part of how I set up my basement, and I would want more of it. I do a lot of what I do professionally, but as well as personally and hobby-wise, surrounds the computer. So I need a command station. Yeah. Most of my time these days is spent computer and comics, cataloging, processing, organizing. So I like a lot of desk space and physical space that I can reconfigure to match the project that I'm on. Speakers in the right places. I really want more screens so I can, when I'm doing video production or music production, I can kind of sit, optimally to listen or watch that sort of stuff. But, and I have a lot of this, but it's really, my wife hates going in there because it's always full of stuff, but that reconfigurability and space, like I love your office, Chris, your current office, and I'll be interested to see how it ends up in the new place. But what struck me there was open space that wasn't was flexibly. Like you could reconfigure and make use of that
Oh,
space.
sure. When I do sorting or something, I've brought 8-foot tables in
Yeah.
just to line up boxes.
Yeah. And I can do one of those, but I do. So that, that's really to the chagrin of my family. When I'm home, if I'm not hanging out with them, that's really where I want to be.
Yeah.
And I want to put more, I have comic storage off the end of it and things like that. Yeah.
Excellent. My number 2 is going to tag up on both of your number 3s, and that's the home theater.
Yeah.
That was going into this. We spent a lot of time on the design of this house, trying to come up with and get the couple of things that each of us wanted. Heather wanted her kitchen. She wanted the dedicated exercise room. Mine went back to more of, I wanted that theater setup, much like you're describing.
Yeah.
So we designed one room in the house just to hold, it's basically a 16 by 16 square. That will have the drop-down projection screen, that'll have the 7-1 setup. So it's all pre-wired for your wall speakers, your ceiling speakers,
Nice.
fronts, back, sides, the whole 9 yards.
What's the seating configuration?
So looking at 2 rows, you're going to be able to do 2 rows of 4 if you want. It's deep enough where for the size screen that I'm looking at, you need 10 or 11 feet away from the screen, which will give you enough room for your raised row in the back.
Yep.
So
where
it's probably a phase 2.
Where do you come? Where do you come into the room?
It is actually on the first floor. So it's right off of the kitchen, bathroom, next to Heather's office. So first floor, back corner.
So not far away from pizza rolls and popcorn, which is good.
No, I mean, there's your food options are right there. So it's not.
We should have had him build us guest rooms in the new house.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ever leave the place.
There's one.
Yeah, I'm interested in, particularly as you talk about
Hunger
future
Games kind of
phases.
thing.
As you get settled in there, I'd love to help consult and advise.
I have not picked receiver or it's all pre-wired.
Yeah.
I've gone back and forth on which projector to get.
Yeah.
Depending on who you talk to, will tell you whether or not it's a $1,500 projector or you need to spend $5,000 on a projector kind of a thing.
I have thoughts and opinions on there.
The only thing you can pick my center channel in the sub if you want. The wall speakers with the sister that works at Bose. It's too damn cheap.
Yeah.
Bose.
It's too damn cheap to do those. So the brackets and everything are already in the walls and the ceiling for the Bose speakers.
Nice.
So
Nice.
yeah, the home theater.
That's awesome. My number 2 is outside kitchen. So I like to cook, obviously. I do have a kind of an outside.
I like to eat, so
there we go.
That works.
I have a outside kitchen kind of thing here, like at my place now. But like, I mean, like I'm going talking for Brooke. Like I want like the built-in grill, built-in like 5-tier smoker, maybe like a wood-fired pizza oven kind of thing. Like
But a little utility outdoor microwave too, right?
Yeah.
Just to warm up your queso.
Yeah, just
warm queso.
Yeah, I mean, just as part of the full utility, right?
Yeah.
You obviously don't want to use that normally.
So right now I have like the outside like shed kitchen kind of thing with like the fridge in it and the cabinets, which is kind of cool. And
Which is awesome.
Yeah, and I have like my
Is
little
there water out there? You got sink?
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
nice.
Go there.
and then I have like my my little smoker and my grill and all that stuff. I would like one of the big, nice built-in ones. The big thing would be to add the pizza oven would be.
Yeah.
The pizza oven would be huge.
I'm
Pizza
not
oven and big
surprised by
smoker.
that because that's one of my favorite things about seeing your house is enjoying what you have right now is already awesome, particularly with the view and everything. But I can see you amping it up.
Oh yeah,
given the opportunity.
Yeah, that'd be fun. So
and that there's something like social spaces, right? I realize none of my list, except maybe the honorable mention outdoor, really touch on social spaces at all, other than theater, which is semi-social. But having the ability to have lots of people milling, but have access to kitchen and serving and fridge and things like that is nice.
When you guys finally see the new house,
Yeah.
that's one of the things we did. There's no walls from the
love
kitchen
it, dude.
through the living room. There's a
That's
little half
awesome.
wall just to have a sofa up against.
Yeah,
But you can essentially stand at one side of the house
yeah,
at the fridge and look all the way to the other end.
yeah.
So we did it all with LVLs to create, and it's funny. Every time I go from like
What's
one house
LVL?
to, so your floor joists.
Oh, okay.
So you don't need their load bearing on
Right.
themselves. So it's just
Got
sitting on
it.
the outside walls, as opposed to
that's
having to put any load bearing walls inside the house.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how if you've dealt with sound there, not in terms of speakers and music system stuff, but in terms of dampening and reverberation control.
We have around the home theater, on the office, certain rooms.
Yeah.
We have, it's going to be something that
like open spaces and hard surfaces.
it's tough to tell right now because you have 9-foot ceilings
Yeah.
all throughout so it's just an echo chamber
Yeah.
right now until you get some stuff on the walls to start dampening this and until you're living in it.
Yeah.
You won't know, but they have some amazing, relatively inexpensive devices now for white noise that just take all of that out.
White noise and just some, soft panels to kill reflection, things like that. Because that's one of the things I have a real problem with is restaurants or spaces where it's not how many people there are, but it's the fact that the white noise that's coming from all that activity, rather than being eaten, is just routed around, and it ends up, I end up wanting to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he does want it to be that way. Yeah. but that's,
Go back to my open space and privacy comment.
yeah. Now I'm looking forward to seeing that. That's cool.
Nice.
So are we down to number one?
Number ones.
What are number ones?
So this surprises me that it's there and will make some people, especially my wife, laugh. But I'd really like to have a home gym. I am chronically unfit.
Interesting description.
Yeah, I mean, to the point more and more where I feel like I'm at the point where the vector of my life is going to head towards the grave if I don't figure out how to adjust this. But the fact is, my life, my willpower, my commute that eats the time I have is not conducive towards doing much working out. I've been, there's a new kind of wall-mounted automated workout unit that I've been fantasizing about getting, this tonal thing, just because it doesn't take up much space, but is kind of, helps guide you. Like, I kind of want like a personal trainer and a place to do a circuit workout so I can get a balance type stuff. And knowing you guys are putting in something like that, I mean, I know it's a big deal, but I don't have a good place to do that stuff. And it's all excuses. Anybody can make time for anything. But the fact is, I don't have a good way to do this.
Right.
I have an elliptical, but that's not, I want a whole circuit of activity.
Give DJ credit for going to the gym. I won't leave the house.
It's rough, man. I go at lunch. I got buddies at work to go. So
it sounds great in theory, but unless it was right downstairs, I'm never working.
I have a gym at
I need to be forced
a couple
to go.
different gyms accessible to me at work, but I hate going to work and I don't like putting on my professional clothes and showering someplace else as a daily routine. I don't mind.
He means Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
No, that's not how I work most of the time, right?
No. I've seen him come from work.
Right?
Oh, okay.
I don't want to do that daily. I don't.
It's a pain in the ass.
If you do it at lunch, it's tough to do it in less than an hour and a half to 2 hours in terms of I have to get in a car, go to where the gym is, and if I do that, guess what that does to my day? It makes it harder to make an 8-hour day. I'm a contractor. So it's the commute just totally screws me.
Sure.
If I could get back another 45 minutes, it'd be easier for it to fit in someplace.
It's a huge work-life balance thing, the gym. Like, we're lucky where we have one 5 minutes down the street.
Mm-hmm.
We used to have one across the street at the hospital. They took it out. So we got new guys like 5 minutes down the street. He gave us a good rate. We signed up for the year. And there's 3 of us that go. So we'll hop in my buddy's truck, run over there, do like 45 minutes, shower quick, head back, and then just eat while you're working.
And you do it. And you dress like jeans and like you dress relatively casually?
Oh, no, I'm khakis and button-up shirt or every now and then a golf shirt.
Okay. So
usually I throw a quarter zip over it to kind of hide it. But
I dress homeless.
Yeah. We're not talking to you.
No, I can't wear jeans to work. I can't wear sneakers to work.
Okay.
So I have to bring the bag and do the full change and
I
everything.
couldn't do it.
I hate that.
It's funny.
I'm not in a suit or nothing.
Yeah.
But
but it's enough that,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It's
a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. It's not easy.
First thing my boss and I changed when we got to the new company was making it acceptable to wear jeans every day.
Yeah.
That would be a godsend.
They were in slacks and shirts every day. I'm like, nobody comes to the office. This makes no sense.
Yeah.
Why are you torturing people to commute an hour each way?
Well, it makes a difference. If I can just pull on jeans and a shirt or something, then it's not as big a deal. But I've got, So that's my number one.
Interesting. You threw curveball.
It's something that would actually.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say donut machine.
No, I mean, right? Yes, I
Krispy Kreme waterfall.
I like eating,
The bonbon conveyor belt from I Love Lucy.
but when I'm not stressing,
You just want to see
I
Sean
control
stuff in
my
his shirt.
Yeah,
There you go.
but yeah, I need some exercise.
No, that's a good call.
No, excellent call.
Go pull.
My number one is your previous one, my office.
Yeah,
That is my cave. That is my sanctuary. That's Saturday mornings where I go to hide.
what do you like or need or think about in that space?
I like the way the current office is set up. You said you like the space. It is an open space thing, right? And the way the new one is kind of configured, it's a big, wide open room.
Okay.
I mean, this thing is like a garage bay and a half by the full width of the room.
Nice.
So it's probably 16 by, how deep is a garage? 24?
Yeah.
Something like that.
So it's big.
So it's a big office. Same idea. And I don't need separate spaces to necessarily work and do the hobby. I like it all confined within the same room.
Mm-hmm.
There will be a corner where the desk is with the monitors, and that's kind of the workspace. But much like you, with the longer tables for sorting, and I just need space for some of the other stuff, and wall space.
Yes.
Was the other big thing. So the one thing we did in this one, you have like regular 8-foot ceilings everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
We did joists over the garage where it actually it's just the joist. It goes right to the peak of the garage.
Mm-hmm.
So I have floor to ceiling wall.
Okay.
That entire second story. So you can. One thing DJ always talks about. I need more wall space too.
For his artwork. Yeah.
There's too much stuff to hang that I can't possibly.
I suggested rolling
get
like
into the space.
Like barn door kind of thing walls.
Yeah, I need the Disney gallery.
Yeah, gallery walls.
Yeah,
Disney
I need gallery walls where I can just stack them
Wonder
3
Woman
deep.
walls.
And you know what? I want to look at Wonder Woman today. Yeah. And you just push the other ones.
It's a Daredevil Wednesday today.
You know, stupid, quick aside, we have a couple of frames in, I think it's our family room, where the kids spend most of their time that are the kind that swing out and you can replace them. We got them so that as the kids were growing up and doing different artwork, we could swap them out. But Jen's, now that the kids really aren't doing that sort of thing, Jen started, we got a nice color laser printer. She started every few weeks. She picks some new art that she likes or pictures of flowers. She prints them, puts them in there, and
Have you seen the TVs that do that now?
Yeah. And
just pick whichever piece of fine art you want, and it just rotates. And it actually comes framed.
On my recent travel, I saw one of the Samsung 8K TVs up close. It's honestly, unless you're 6 inches from it, the difference between 4K and 8K.
With
you're
my
never
eyes,
gonna
I
know.
can't tell you
Yeah,
between
you can't
720p and
tell.
4K.
Yeah. So it's but yes.
In conjunction with The Office, I always wanted a hidden room.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Always, and this goes back to the shared love for Batman and
Yes.
all of that. Wanted to hit a button and have a door pop up. Yep. There may be something in the new house to show you.
Yeah.
Somewhere down the line.
Does it involve Shakespeare?
They were goodly enough to sell Shakespeare heads.
I have
Not
one
too
in my
long,
office.
They do sell the
Yeah.
busts. So, and it's amazingly easy to open those things up to wire them.
I can't wait.
It's a good piggyback. So,
So, yeah.
so
So we'll see. It's probably about 4 weeks away.
I can't wait.
I'll never get it,
Yeah.
but that's the dream. My number one is Batcave, quote air quotes.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted the head with the button in it that did, even if it just opened a closet or something. As we know, because of fire codes and stuff now that we're adults, you cannot actually put a pole that runs down into your basement.
Yeah, you
There's
can have a pole.
No, Chris tried probably.
I did. And it's way too freaking expensive. And
Yeah.
you can't get around the code.
Yeah.
What if you did a horizontal pole that had like an auto shuttle? So you like pretend it and you get on it, but then you have a camera that's sideways so that it
You
makes
sit
it
in it,
look,
like, kinda, like, push
and
off
then it
with your
just
feet.
rides you down.
You're talking like the pictures on the con, like make it look like you're climbing the wall.
Yeah.
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 And no fire code violation because it's horizontal.
That's true.
You know how
It would
strong
look
that
really
pole would have to be
stupid,
to
yeah.
hold me up.
Yeah, I know.
So if I
And if I'm Robin to your Batman or DJ's our Penguin.
just because you wear the green shorts doesn't make you Robin, Sean.
Oh yes, we know.
So yeah, so like if money was no object, I would have like a Shakespeare bus that would open the basement door and you go down the basement and
I love this idea.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Same thing. That's where the theater room would actually probably be.
Yep.
Big computer room, all the collectibles,
Little aside.
arcade machines.
I knew a guy that had, down in Atlanta, somebody that I met through business, that had the button where the floor opened to get the staircase down to the basement, and that's where his office was, and there was a theater room and stuff.
That's pretty cool.
So it looked like it was just one continuous floor upstairs.
Yeah.
And then it was right off the kitchen. The bookcase open. And, yep. There's your staircase down.
Jeez.
It was awesome.
So you bring up an interesting point, DJ, because I know
I would have an actual Batman costume
Yeah.
in a glass case too.
like you have a lot of display
Now, see, I was leaning more
shelves.
towards Fat Man.
Ooh,
I have an idea for the
gallery of like,
the room.
the hall of jerseys.
It may, yeah.
All right, well,
It may go a different direction.
yeah, we'll have to see that. You have a lot of display stuff,
Yep.
all over your house. Figures, statues, toys. Chris, you have a few select places that I've seen that you also do that in your office spaces or in your Batcave
Okay,
space,
yep,
CJ.
Same thing.
Do you want your display stuff there? Do you want it out in the house because you don't want people in your inner
I want
sanctum? Or
floor to
is it-
ceiling glass like curios cabinet things
Yeah.
with.
That's kind of where I'm at, I think.
I want it in my office. I am going to be much more selective about what is put out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going into this one with a no chuffa rule.
Yeah.
Okay.
I won't have a lot of the little, like the toys and the little stuff that I
We're
have.
done with Funko Pops.
I'm not going to have all of that stuff out. If I have a statue, it's going to be like one of the 6 scales or one of the ones
Yeah.
that's in Heather's cabinet upstairs. It'll be that kind of stuff as opposed to
So where's all the other
Just-
stuff going?
decorating with volume just for the sake of decorating.
DJ Fire Sale?
No, there's money for a fire sale. But
I'm going to put them on a monthly payment plan and I'll send them tchotchkes.
yeah.
No Goodwill Hunting.
Davis crate.
We're going to put your cheeseburger on the dash here and every week you give me 50 cents. And,
Cheeseburger.
50 cents.
Well, I think it's nice that for the most part, the things that we think about, we have aspects of them. They're improvements of what we have.
And he'll
Certainly.
actually have all the improvements.
You'll have some
I'll
of them.
never go on vacation.
Yeah,
again.
you'll have a bunch of
He
them.
wouldn't need to.
But the opportunity to get what you're getting through building your own house and having your own land, I mean, that's not something that's normal. That's something you work towards and
Yeah, this was
Right.
years in the
Yeah.
making.
Oh yeah, no.
Getting the
It's,
land
it's no. I
Saving the nut to get it started.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I'm
Plus-
hoping I can do it one day. So, or at least not to that scale.
DJ, I think you and I win because we're going to get to spend time, more than Chris
You'll
wants
retire way sooner than me.
at
I'll never-
your house.
I'll never get to retire. I'm gonna drop dead pass out stickers.
That's
in Walmart.
actually should have been an honorable mention, and it could be a double-edged sword. Like room for guests who come and stay comfortably without being in your shit is tough
It's
to pull
interesting.
off.
I am very protective of my personal space.
Yeah,
People being in my space,
Yeah.
like we joked about this. We're recording early morning.
Yeah,
yeah.
Chris doesn't do early mornings.
No.
Like nothing drives me crazier than coming downstairs and having somebody in my space.
You're kind of awake now, and it's like 11:30. Oh no, it's
Yeah. No, I'd be
it's
awake.
afternoon.
I just don't play nicely with others in the morning.
Well, I mean, this whole thing's present. Like the way I took it was like, like I said, I win the lottery, so all this stuff's gonna get done.
I have a whole separate list for that.
Oh, yeah.
I've been watching Billions now. Every episode is
Now when the floor would open up to drop to the jet ski to go right out to the ocean, that kind of stuff, You'd literally have a cave under the house.
where's the hell?
How did they do it in Shazam? You need a lair, something on the cliffside.
Lair on the cliffs.
Yeah,
Lair.
Layer.
it'd be funny.
That's right. That's basically what I would want, a layer.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be amazing.
I think if I get more money though, I want less houses. I'd like condos, different places, so I could travel.
I'd want,
I
like,
wouldn't
what-
want to be grounded in one.
No, like
spot.
one of the
Yeah.
Polynesian bungalow things at Disney, kind of like
I
on
think-
the coast or something. And
I think that's the weird dichotomy. Like, I think I
Less
would have
stuff.
less stuff
Mm-hmm.
with more money
see, I would
because
put
I
all
wouldn't
this
be around.
all this stuff we talked about, like if you had a couple, 20, 50 million bucks in the bank, whatever, this would just be like basically in just the building I bought for us to record in. All this stuff would be there.
I mean, you ascribe value. It's interesting. You ascribe value to these other things because that's what you can afford and aspire to at that
Yeah.
point in time.
Yeah.
But if you sign one of these NBA contracts,
Oh,
you have
yeah.
all the money at your hand, none of these tchotchkes and truffle mean anything.
No, it's
Yeah.
bullshit.
You became Nicolas Cage collecting books.
Yeah.
You're going to pick first appearances and everything's high grade.
Yeah.
Yes, I have this one little rack and look, I own the first appearance.
Actual one.
Everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
It's different.
No. I was trying to keep it reasonable, so I'll
These
go home
are-
and cry after this.
No, you look around and it's just moments of happy.
Exactly.
These are the little pops that
Yep,
make
happy
you smile
pops.
on that day.
Little
and-
pops are
yeah.
happy. Okay, so Sean had a home theater, the Fortress of Sean, or his office, and a home gym.
Fortress of Sean.
Chris had
I can't
open
lift
space,
that key.
the home theater, and an office,
Yeah.
all of which he's getting in about 30 days.
Yeah.
I had a theater room, outside super mega kitchen, and a bat cave, quote unquote, or office space.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
These are my happy places.
I know. Now I'm going to go and be sad for today because I have to go do work. I got to go do a side job after this. I'm not happy about it. And it's hot out. And
It's hot, yeah.
my buddy bought a business. I got to go do all this internet stuff and everything. So
Next episode, I will have gone on my first Disney cruise.
Oh,
this is
yes.
gonna be amazing.
Yeah. So
talking Disney next episode.
okay. Well,
Disney.
Can we bring Jen?
we'll
see.
We'll see.
Let's see how
We'll
it
have to
goes.
talk-
Yeah. We'll see how the
Depends if
cruise
it's a good cruise or not.
Yeah. We got to see how the cruise goes.
She might throw Sean overboard.
I hope not.
If it's a good cruise, it'd be a great story. If it's a bad cruise, it'd be an amazing story.
That's true.
All right.
See how that goes. So thanks for listening, everyone. See you next week.
Have fun on
Take
vacation,
care.
kid.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.